Hi friend, in this video we are going to learn the song Holy Forever on the acoustic guitar. Let's dive right in. We are going to be learning the song using G shapes but playing in the key of B flats. That's why I've got the capo here on fret 3. This is just a little bit easier of a congregational key in my opinion, and then also a little bit easier if you are a male leading the song. Chris Tomlin version is recorded, I believe, in the key of D flat or C sharp, so it is way up in the stratosphere. Would not recommend singing it with a congregation in that key. The song's also being covered by Bethel Music. They have a version of the song. They're co-writers on the song. They have Jen Johnson leading it, and the song, I believe, in the original recording is the key of F. And then CC Winans is also done the song now as well. So it's kind of everywhere, but let's dive right in. We are going to be referencing G shapes. I'm going to have chord diagrams on the screen. So let's dive right in with the chords that you will need for the song. We are going to need just a standard G chord like so. And I'm going to use throughout the tutorial these anchor kind of standard worship leader chords. I've covered this in another video, so I'm not going to go super in depth and go through like every finger and every fret. We're going to move fairly quickly through the chords that you need. You could always pause the video, and when the live stream's finished processing as well, I'll actually link that card up below to that video that I'm referring to. So you're going to need this G chord, and the main thing here is that throughout these chords, as you'll see, we're anchoring these this ring finger and pinky finger we're anchoring on fret 3 on the first two strings, the high E string and the B string here. So we're anchoring those, and it makes it really nice to change. So you're going to need this G anchor chord. We are going to need this G over B. Now the only difference there is you are literally lifting off your middle finger, and this B note here is the lowest note, so you need the G over B. We are going to need this C add 2. You'll notice there again, anchoring these here. The only difference there from the G that we started with is moving these top two fingers one string down each, but keeping the same formation. So again, that's your C add 2. You're going to need that. You are going to need this E minor 7 anchor. Again, notice the theme of anchoring these two fingers there. That's your E minor 7. And then you're going to need a D sus4, and it's going to look like this. Again, theme of anchoring those. So you notice there you're only strumming from the open D, so your 4th string up. That D string, you're strumming those down. That's why you've got those X's on the 5th string on your chord diagram there, and your 6th string, the A string and the low E string. So that's your D sus4. There is one variation you could experiment with, and it's a D add 4. It looks like this. So you're taking your C chord, a standard C shape, sliding it up 2 frets, and then you're placing your pinky on the high E string there, your 1st string. So it's real pretty, especially in this song. And then later on in the tutorial, I actually do a pre-recorded playthrough of the song, and I actually use this variation quite a few times throughout that playthrough. And so you can experiment with throwing that in there. Again, C, standard C shape, move it up 2 frets, keep the same formation with your fingers, throw that pinky there on your 1st string, high E string. It gives you that sound. So you could experiment with one of those two variations there of that D chord. And then the last chord that you're going to need is actually used quite frequently throughout the song. It's this A minor 7, but it's a little bit of a variation. Similar to that D variation we just did, we're going to throw the pinky on the high E string there, 3rd fret in this case. And then that's the A minor 7 variation we're going to use. So again, you could always pause the video and get your fingers in the shape of that chord diagram you see on your screen. That's the A minor 7 variation. You could use a standard A minor chord like this, but with the song and the voicing of the song, this A minor 7 there just sounds just a little more fitting for the song. And you'll notice there's really the main difference there from the standard A minor is you're lifting off your ring finger, so you're lifting that off, and then you're adding that pinky to make that A minor 7 variation there. So those are the chords you're going to need throughout the song. Let's do this now. Let's just cover strumming. What I'm going to do is put up this strumming pattern on the screen here. So this is the strumming pattern you could use throughout the song. Now, I do want to say this. This is not the recorded version strumming pattern you will hear. Throughout the original recording of the song, there's a lot of, let me take this off for a second. There's actually a lot of just straight 16th note kind of strums with obviously accents thrown in throughout, but it's more of a feel thing. The acoustic guitar player, if you listen to like the Chris Tomlin and even the Bethel version of the song, the acoustic guitar player is really doing a lot of just straight 16th note strumming like this, and then kind of accenting along with the drum groove or the drum pattern. Now this is becoming more common in worship music as well. The acoustic guitar player is just really like acting, in a sense, like a drummer, if you will, or is following the rhythm of the drums. But I want to give you a strumming pattern that you could use just if you were playing maybe with a smaller band or even by yourself. This strumming pattern you see on the screen will work really well even throughout the whole song. You could really keep this pattern throughout the whole song and it would work great. So now, I have covered this in another video. I'll link the card up when the live stream's finished as well. It's kind of like an MVP, if you will, of strumming patterns for worship. It sounds like this. So the big arrows that you see on the diagram there are accents, and then everything else kind of stays at a kind of an even keel, if you will, dynamic. So the big arrows are accents, and then obviously the down and up is whether you're strumming down or up. And the counting, if you are familiar with counting, the E and then the A there, you would count this 1 E and A, and those are 16th notes. So 1 E and A, 2 E and A. Don't stress if you don't know formally how to count rhythm. You could just refer to the down, 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 up, down, up, down, down. I'll kind of do it both ways. So here we go. This is what this sounds like. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. You'll notice on those big arrows, I'm emphasizing, I'm giving it a little bit of an accent. So one more time. 1, 2, and a 3 and 4, and a 1, 2, and a 3 and 4, and a. If I just do it on the G chord, 1, 2, and a 3 and 4, and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4. So again, you could use that throughout the whole song, and it would work great. Throughout the playthrough, you'll hear me do some variation. I don't stick to that rhythm entirely. I try to throw some of that just straight 16th note in. So you'll hear that a little bit later in the video as well. Now, I do want to say this again, if you're listening to the recordings, you will hear some really nice, like open picking and things at the beginning of the song. I'm not going to cover this super in depth, but if you are a little more of an advanced player, you can experiment with things like this. So again, you'll hear the acoustic player on both of the versions, the Bethel version and then the Chris Tomlin version. There's similar patterns to things like this with really nice open finger picking. And again, that's a little more advanced. So again, I'm not going to cover that in depth here, but if you are more of an advanced player, listen to the recording of that. You'll kind of hear a lot of open space created, especially at the beginning of the song. I have done some videos where I cover how to get started with the finger picking, as well as, again, kind of like an MVP of finger picking patterns for worship, which is kind of what I'm utilizing there. So I will link those cards up as well once the stream has finished processing. But with that, let's do this, is we are going to cover the song sections one by one. So we're going to start with the intro. And what you need here, I'm not going to have the chord diagrams up on when I go through each section of the song, because I am going to do a playthrough where I'll put those chord diagrams up. But the intro, you're going to need that C add 2. So the song actually starts in that C, like this. Then you're going to go to the D, add 4. Then the G over B, and it's one measure of each. And then the E minor 7. Now it's going to repeat this in the intro. C add 2. D add 2, and again, you notice I'm just doing a one strum here, keep it nice and open. G over B. Now there's a little variation on this last one. You're going to go E minor 7 to the D, and that'll lead you into the verse. So the intro is essentially the same progression twice as you heard, but then on the E minor 7, the fourth bar, the second repeat through there, you split up the bar, and you don't do E minor 7 for a whole measure, 4 counts, or 1, 2, 3, 4. You change on beat 3. So it goes E minor 7 to the D, or if we count it, 1, 2, change, 4, 1,000 generations, and that leads us into the verse. So it's really nice, just simple intro, creates a lot of space. You'll hear kind of the motif, little hook thing played by either an electric guitar or piano that kind of plays over the top of that intro, and it leads really well into the verse. So let's cover the verses. So it starts right there, as you heard, on the G. And it goes 1,000 generations. The G to the C add 2 to the G. So G, C, G. And then it goes walk down, E minor 7, ages D to the C add 2. And then it repeats that. So all have gone before us, all who will believe. So back to the G, E minor 7 to the D to the C add 2. And that's your verse. And the nice thing is the verse 2 after the chorus is the same exact progression. It doesn't change the progression up. So let me sing through that one, and I'll actually bring that strumming pattern, that MVP strumming pattern, if you will, into it as well. So it goes like this. If you've been forgiven, if you've been redeemed, sing the song forever to the Lamb. If you walk in freedom, if you bear his name, back to the G, E minor 7 to the D to the Lamb. And then that leads you into your pre-chorus. So let's look at that next. The pre-chorus of the song picks up where we left off of the verses there. So it starts on the C add 2. Your name is the highest for D. So when I say 4 there, that's the beat that you change on. So it's a little bit tricky, and this happens on the chorus as well. So let's look at this timing. So it goes C add 2 is the highest, E minor 7 to the D is the greatest. So the change there, if you count the rhythm, is 1, 2, 3, 4 is the change, is where that E minor 7 is happening. It's kind of a passing chord for this first time through the pre-chorus, or the first time you see the E minor 7 in the pre-chorus. So it goes C add 2, E minor 7 to the D is the greatest, and then back to the E minor 7 for a full measure, stands above them all, back to C add 2. So it goes C is the highest change, name is the greatest, your name stands above them all thrones. Now same progression, dominions, change on 4, all powers and positions, your name. Now this is where this A minor 7 shows up. Oh, so the second part of that pre-chorus, the first time you'll notice when we did the lyric, your name stands above them all, on the word all, you land on the C add 2. Now the second time through, you land on the A minor 7, which leads really nicely into the chorus. So let me do this with those tricky changes. Let me just play through the chorus, pre-chorus, one more time for you. It goes like this. Your name is the highest, E minor 7 to the D is the greatest, your E minor 7 stands above them all. See there? All thrones and dominions, E minor 7, all powers, positions, your name stands above them all. The A minor 7 there. Now, the pre-chorus, I do want to say this now, is before we get to the chorus, the pre-chorus later on in the song actually acts essentially as the bridge of the song, and you come back to the pre-chorus and you repeat it twice. And there are just a few things to note on this. So when you repeat it, obviously, like we just walked through, when you do the pre-chorus once, the second time we land on that final lyric, your name stands above them all, when you repeat it, when the pre-chorus comes back as the bridge, you actually want to stay on the C add 2. So it's a little bit confusing, but what I mean by that is both times when you're doing the pre-chorus twice, you want to stay on the C add 2, and the only time you want to go to that A minor 7 is when you lead back into the chorus. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me do this, is play through that for you. So this would be the pre-chorus when it's repeated, essentially acting as a bridge. It goes like this. Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name stands above them all. So everything's normal here. We'd normally go to the C, all thrones and dominions, all powers and positions, your name. So now instead of going to the A minor 7 back to the C, stands the all, because we're going to repeat Jesus, your name is the highest, your name. So again, we're repeating Your name stands above them all. This is all normal. C add 2, all thrones and dominions, all powers and positions. Your E minor 7. Now back to the A minor 7. Them all, and the angels cry. So anytime, again, you lead back into the chorus, just remember that's where you want to land on that A minor 7 out of the pre-chorus there. So with that, let's look at the choruses of the song. The first time the chorus shows up in the song after verse 1, it's essentially like a half chorus, and it has different lyrics. So there's a chorus 1 and a chorus 2, if you will. So the first chorus, it goes like this: and the angels cry, C add 2. You'll notice with a kind of a theme of this song, a lot of the sections start with this C add 2, or the 4 chord. So it goes, and the angels cry, holy. Now notice that it's the same change as the pre-chorus, that E minor 7 is changing on beat 4. So it goes, and the angels cry, 1, 2, 3, 4. All creation cries. Now G over B, holy. You are lifted high, minor 7, holy. To the D, holy forever. So one more time. And the angels cry, C add 2, oh, E minor 7 to the D. All creation cries, holy. You are lifted, A minor 7, holy. Holy forever. Back to the G. Now the second chorus, when you repeat the chorus after verse 2, there's a second part of the chorus that the lyrics change. It goes, hear your people sing. Same progression. C, E minor 7 to the D, to the King of Kings. G over B, oh, E minor 7, you will always be. A minor 7, holy. You can experiment with throwing that variation of the D in. Then back to the G. So let me do both choruses back to back here. It goes like this. And the angels cry, oh, E minor 7 to the D. All creation cries, oh, E minor 7. You are lifted high, holy, holy forever. You can throw that G over B. It's kind of a passing to the King of Kings. Holy, minor 7, you will always be. Holy, holy forever. And that lands your chorus. And then again, depending on where you're at in the song, that would be leading down either into your verse, if you're just doing that chorus one time, or it would be leading back into your pre-chorus, kind of acting as the bridge. And so what we're going to do now, the only other thing in the song is the very end. Once you've done those set of choruses, there is a tag, but all it is, it's not a new section. Try not to think of it as a different section. All it is tagging that last line of the chorus. So it goes, you will always be, A minor 7, oh, back to the D, holy forever. So again, don't think of it as an entirely different section. It's just tagging the last line of the chorus, which again, is pretty common in worship music. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put on the screen a pre-recorded, basically right before this live stream, I recorded myself playing through the song. And the reason I did this is I want to be able to put up the chord diagrams as the song is playing through. Now, this is something that actually came from some feedback for people that have been just finding these tutorials helpful. They said, hey, is there any way you could put up the chord diagrams as you're playing through the sections? So I recorded the song, just kind of a pre-recorded asset of me playing through the song, and then I'm going to put up chord diagrams. Now again, I am doing this live, so bear with me. Hopefully there's no chords that I miss or anything like that. It's a little bit tricky, kind of navigating with the fingers here, but I'm gonna do my best to throw up the chord diagrams in a timely manner, so this can hopefully be a helpful resource for you. So what I'm gonna do is put the guitar down and throw that video up, and then have these chord diagrams on the screen. What I'm gonna do here is just mute the mic, just so there's no weird kind of double audio going through, and then I'll come back on and just wrap us up. So here we go. I'll throw this on the screen for you here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thousand generations falling down in worship to sing the song of ages to the Lamb. All who've gone before us and all who will believe will sing the song of ages to the Lamb. Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name stands above them all. All thrones and dominions, all powers and positions, your name stands above them all. And the angels cry, holy. All creation cries, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever, yes. If you've been forgiven, if you've been redeemed, sing the song forever to the Lamb. If you walk in freedom, if you bear His name, sing the song forever to the Lamb. We'll sing the song forever and amen. And the angels cry, holy, all creation cries, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever, yeah. Hear your people sing, holy, to the King of Kings, holy, you will always be, holy, holy forever, yeah. Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name stands above them all. All thrones and dominions, all powers and positions, your name stands above them all. Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name stands above them all. Jesus, all thrones and dominions, all powers and positions, your name stands above them all. and the angels cry, holy, all creation cries, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever. Yes, hear your people sing, holy, to the King of Kings, holy, you will always be, holy, holy forever. You will always be holy, holy forever. All right, friends, hopefully that was helpful in terms of just being able to hear the song played through with those changes. One thing I want to just go through, I know I kind of messed up a little bit of that tag after verse 2 there. So let me go through what was going on there. You are essentially, it's kind of a little bit of it's a really neat dynamic arrangement of the song. So what you're doing is you go on the last line of verse 2 there, you're going, the last part is, if you walk in freedom, if you bear his name, sing the song forever to the Lamb. And then again, you are just, it's not a new section, you're just repeating that last line, and the melody changes a little bit. So it goes, we'll sing the song forever and amen. So the chords are the same. You're going the E minor 7 like that, and then it's essentially like a walk down to the D, to the C add 2, and then you're strumming wise, like you're kind of pausing your regular strumming there, and you're just doing one strums on the changes. So you're going, sing the song forever. We'll sing the song forever and amen. So again, instead of sing the song forever to the Lamb, you're saying we'll sing the song forever and amen. It's kind of just a cool lift to the song. So again, I know I messed up the changes on the playthrough there in terms of just my fingers kind of doing some finger dancing there, but I wanted to make sure you got that. So sing the song forever and amen. So again, E minor 7 to the D to the C, so walk down, and then it launches into your chorus. I think everything else was pretty much the same there. One thing I realized I did kind of just by instinct is at the end of the verses, what I do is I kind of use a suspended G, just on the end of those verses. So let me show you that there. What I'm doing is instead of using just this anchor chord for G, I switch to kind of this variation of a G, which is it's kind of an alternate. Like this would be the standard way that you would learn a G. So I changed the fingering to this here. Basically using my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string, using my middle finger there on this B note on the 2nd fret of the A string, my pinky up here on the 3rd fret of the high E string, the 1st string, and then what that allows me to do is it frees up this pointer finger here to fret the 1st fret of the B string, the 2nd string, and it gets that suspended in there. So here I did that in the playthrough. When I land the choruses, I do that kind of just by instinct. I go G. So I go G, G suspended, back to G. And the lyric, how that lands is holy forever. And again, you don't have to do that, but it's just a little bit of variation that adds some color to the song. So again, I noticed that as I was going through the playthrough, wanted to make sure you grabbed what I was doing there. And so I hope that's helpful, friends, in learning this amazing song. Again, you can play around with the dynamics of this song. Like I mentioned, going through the strumming section, there's some really pretty just opportunities to do finger picking, like so. So again, if you're a little more of an advanced player, you can experiment with things like that. I will link those cards up, as I mentioned earlier on. And before you go, friends, worship leaders, I would love to get into your hand a free gift I created. I'm going to put a website up on the screen here. What it is a free guide that will teach you 6 practices you can implement this week to gain a greater sense of confidence in your worship leading. These are things that I wish I had known when I started my worship leading journey, things I still use today, even after many years of leading worship and being involved with worship teams. So I'm going to put this up on the screen here. If you go to influentialworship.com, you just type in your email, and I'd love to get that into your hands. It's completely free to you. And with that, friends, I will see you in the next video. God bless you and your ministry.